mighty. Not because you want to, but you have to. Be bold and no time to be bashful. Grab life by the horns like a natural. Be sharp, be quick, and be agile. Never ever let a competitor catch you. Stay ahead of whatever is trying to pass you. Though it's not a race.
Hello everyone. Samuel Ray here, also known as Dr. Sam. And this is S-Factor Labs. And yet, I'm back into doing discussion content. It's been a little while. Lots happened. But I wanted to get back into doing this from time to time. With, the new job, it's kind of became more difficult to have the time to sit down and talk on a weekly basis like I used to. And I think I kind of lost sight of why I did this type of content. Because in addition to having less time, I noticed that these uploads didn't get much in the way of viewership and listens, but I kind of had to remind myself that that's not the only reason to do these kind of things. It's a creative outlet. I actually liked getting my thoughts out in this form. Speaking is definitely one of my strengths and something that I do have a lot of confidence in, my ability to articulate my thoughts using my voice and vocabulary and such. So I figured I would just get back to doing this as much as I'm able. Maybe I won't be able to do it, weekly like I used to with Morning Boot Up, but perhaps bi-weekly, or even if I can just do one per month and get back into doing the podcast proper. So then there'll be at least 2 uploads per month. I think that would be at the very least a decent amount, especially if I can manage it with consistency. And like with my YouTube uploads and my streams, live streams playing games, I feel like it doesn't matter if you can only do it a few times or maybe even once per week, as long as you have consistency. That's more important, because then the audience knows when to expect another installment or another stream. And if you do that, then you're more likely to have people returning to, listen or watch or take part in what you're doing. So, as a content creator, of course. So yeah, I'm kind of getting back into using my voice in this way. I also have some other things I'm working on in the background that I'll be releasing eventually. And, I'm just kind of reevaluating things, how I want to go about my content creation, because I'm still kind of trying to find my niche, trying to figure out how to make content that really suits my strengths, my style, my personality, and just come up with a way to reach my ideal audience, because everybody does have an audience. I think the main issue is finding that audience, or figuring out how to market yourself and advertise yourself in a way that your audience can find you, because it is really difficult when you're small, when you're starting things up. It's really tough to find an audience. Content creation is a highly centralized endeavor. The upper percenters are the ones who have the majority of the viewer's attention. Of the majority of the potential audience's attention, that is. Because, to put it simply, it's the 80-20 rule in full effect. 80% of the potential audience is monopolized by 20% of the creators. And if you're not already in that 20%, or if you don't have connections with that upper 20%, it's going to be a struggle and a long, hard climb and to find a sizable audience. And in some cases, it even takes a lot of time, and the majority of creators may never find a sizable audience, actually. So it's kind of, it takes a lot of endurance, you could say, to be able to keep up what you're doing for very little to no payoff, especially immediate payoff, because in today's day and age, people are so used to instant gratification, right? So to do an endeavor like this, to put time into it and not be able to see any payoff, sometimes for years, can be discouraging for the majority of people out there. I mean, that's just how it is. But that's why it's important to find, a passion in it, a reason to do it beyond money and fame, right? Because, like I said, the majority are not going to have fame. So, I had to remind myself why I do what I do, and that there is going to be an audience out there for me, even if it's not a very large one, because I'm not really the type to follow all the trends that the popular content creators follow or set, I'm by my nature going to be staying very safe for work. That's just me. I don't use profanity or innuendo in my daily speech, right? And I'm not going to be flirting with viewers or other content creators because I already have someone, and I am very faithful in that way, very loyal. So I'm not going to be following those kinds of trends that a lot of content creators leverage in order to profit. But I want to keep at things my way, stay true to myself and do things in ways that suit me. And if I can do that and just grow just a little bit, just enough to the extent where, for example, when I do my weekly stream, there would be a few people who would come by on a regular basis, that's plenty enough for me. And if somehow in the future I could grow enough to make a little bit of money off of this, just a little, just enough to put back into it to improve my hardware, my setup, my content, the tools that I have to use in my editing and recording, then that would only allow me to make better content and also be able to financially justify putting more time and energy into it, because I have a day job and I'm not going to sacrifice time at my day job, paying the bills and such for an endeavor that doesn't make any money. That's just not realistic. That's why content creation is going to remain a hobby until that kind of growth is achieved, if it ever even happens. But while I'm in this kind of small stage, I've been at it for about 2 years, for a little more than 2 years now, and I'm just still trying to find my groove. I've gotten into a real consistent schedule in my YouTube uploads and my weekly stream. So the next step is to refine what I do and find new things to do. So I want to do more discussion type content and figure out a presentation style that I can feasibly do with the amount of time I have for editing and such, but that I could also put out in a consistent manner. And if I can do such, I feel like I do enjoy editing, honestly. It's kind of therapeutic to be able to just sit down and make my speaking voice audio sound better, or to put together videos and trim stuff off, kind of piece them together, try out new editing techniques, stuff like that. It is a little disappointing sometimes when I try new stuff and put more effort into a single video and it gets less views than some of my lower effort stuff, but that is the YouTube game, I suppose. And you just find a good middle ground. You put out a lot of lower effort stuff and then the occasional higher effort thing while you're small, and as you master those techniques, you're able to do them more efficiently and more quickly, and you can start gradually increasing the quality of everything you put out with consistency. So that's kind of the phase I'm in, because I cannot pay anyone to edit for me. I have to do everything myself. And honestly, like I said, I do enjoy making content. So if I'm able to continue doing it that way, I will go ahead and do that. After all, if I was to pay someone else to do it, I'd kind of lose that therapeutic aspect of it, right? Sitting down and just using, while very amateur level editing that I have, I still do know more than a lot of people who don't know how to use any kind of editing software. So, but yeah, that's just what's been on my mind, you know? Been working a lot, been getting into that good routine with my weekly stream, and frequent uploads of content from those streams. And now I just gotta find good ways to make new content and stuff that differs from just the streams. I'll figure out exactly what I want to do, and for the time being I want to get back into the discussion content. So regarding that, if you have any thoughts on whether it be topics or as I put in my community post on YouTube, I asked, what types of visuals do you like to see in discussion content? Do you like to see gameplay in the background while speaking, like a lot of commentary YouTubers do? Or do you prefer to have a person speaking to the camera, although in this case it would be an avatar rather than my actual face, and it could be 2D or 3D or whatever, you know? That would help me kind of figure out if a better looking avatar would be worth the money or not for commissioning it. Or is there some other style, like, I don't know, a video essay style where the visuals match what's being said? That would take more effort and time to put out each individual episode, but maybe, I don't know, if that would make them more pleasing to watch, then I feel like it would be worth it. So let me know in the comments what you think on that topic. What types of visuals do you like on discussion? What type of visuals do you like on discussion videos? English. I don't know why my brain gave up on that one. But yeah, let me know in the comments. And if you aren't already subscribed to the channel, please click that. It only takes a fraction of a second. And hit that bell if you want to see all of my uploads. And like I said, I've been kind of consistent with my uploads, so it's not going to be like you're only going to see an upload every month or something like that. So there's going to be a nice little flow of stuff to watch and listen to. And then if you're on podcast platforms, then go ahead and follow this and maybe leave a review with a suggestion or two based on what I've asked and what I've been talking about. So yeah. Anyway, I'm back. I'm going to try to be more consistent with this, and I'm going to try to step up my game in ways that I can feasibly do so, and continue to make discussion content again. So, alright, that's it from me. I will see you next time. Hope you enjoyed my little rambling here, and I look forward to releasing more discussion content on various topics that come to my mind. And feel free to suggest some topics too. Alright, I will see you around. This is Samuel Ray, signing out. Have a great one.